Hello, friend. Jim here with JB's Big Adventure, coming to you from Lake Chapala, Mexico. Now, today what I want to do is I'm going to share with you an experience that we recently just had like this last week, and it had to do with the border and also with immigration. Now, when we came down, we drove down from Laredo, Texas. Now, to get from there to Lake Chapala, it's a 12-hour drive. So we'd spoken to an attorney that said that we had two options to get done what we needed to get done to finish up our temporal passport and visa. And so it was not only 12 hours up there, but it would be another 12 hours back. So he gave us two options. That was option number one. Option number two was to take a flight from Guadalajara up to Tijuana, Mexico. And what we would do is once we got there, that we would go to an immigration office there at the airport. They would take care of everything, and we'd be good to go. So what we did was he told us that the tickets are about $65 to $70. Now, that wasn't really the case because it cost us almost $250 just for airline tickets. So we booked the flight out of Guadalajara Airport at about midnight this last Wednesday. And then we were getting to Tijuana, it would be around 12 to 1 o'clock in the morning. Now, as I'd mentioned to you, we were told that everything could be done inside the airport. So we pretty much mentally were really prepared for what we were going to have to do. Well, we got to the airport, and about an hour before the plane was to take off, about 11 o'clock at night, they canceled the flight. Now, when that happens to you and you're not from the area, that's a pretty difficult thing to try to figure out what you're going to do. So the only option that we had was to take a flight the following afternoon for Thursday at 3 in the afternoon. So we spent a night in a hotel, got a shuttle back over to the airport at about 1 o'clock in the afternoon, took our flight from Guadalajara to Tijuana. We got to Tijuana at about 4 o'clock in the afternoon their time. And so once we got there, we knew what we needed to do. And so we were asking where the immigration office was at. Now, they had asked us what we were doing and what we had to do, and we showed them our passports and everything. And what he told us was we were going to have to take the CBX. Now, the CBX is like a tunnel that goes from the airport to the California border, and you would turn around and come back through. So what we found out and were told wasn't true. So we were going to spend a total of $120. It's $30 each way on the CBX, 30 going, 30 coming back, and have to be in California to come back. We were told that time and time again. And we had to really make a decision because of the fact that we didn't really have the money to be able to do that. We're living on a very fixed income. So I decided to talk to one more person who also told us that we had to go and cross the border. And I don't know what it was, but I don't know if it was just our story with him or whatever it may be. He says, wait on a moment. Now, he went like back from the airport through security. And 15 to 20 minutes later, that, wait just a moment turned into being probably 15, 20 minutes. And I told my wife, I says, let's just go the direction that he went and see where he went if we could find him. Because it was like a needle in a haystack. We'd never been there. It's a big airport. Well, we ended up finding him at one of the other immigration offices. And so when we got there, we basically said to him, okay, where do we stand with all this? And the gal that was at this office asked for our passports. So we gave her our passports, and about 10 to 15 minutes later, it was done. Our passports were stamped. We got our FFM card, which is a Visa card, stamped. So we were done. Now, I'm going to say it was 3 or 4 times that this gentleman who was with immigration told us that this is not the way it's done. He let us know that you got to cross the border and then come back into Mexico. That's the only way that this can be done. So it really was an answer from heaven. I just got to tell you, because we had anxiety about what we had to do, where we were going to go. He told us we could just stay in the airport, and all we had to do was get everything done in the airport. Well, it didn't happen that way, but we ended up getting things done that we needed to get done. So then we actually had a flight back, and that was fine. We got back here to Lake Chapala with no problem. Now, again, I just want to share with you that this gentleman, I really believe, went by the book. And I don't know if he just had a soft heart for us or what it may have been, but he got things done for us. And we were very, very appreciative for that. So it isn't here to drag this out by any means. I just wanted to share the experience with you. Because if you end up finding yourself, because when we came down from Laredo, when we first moved down, we went through customs, but nobody said anything about immigration. Because we went to the Mexican consulate in the state that we lived, and they took care of everything. We figured that we were done. And once we got down here and we're working on getting something done with our passport and immigration papers, it turns out that they said they had to be stamped. So if you end up in that same situation where you're driving down and you don't know about where the immigration office is or anything at the border, I just want you to know to make sure that you look for the immigration office. Now, if you're already here and you're in this situation and you have to get yours stamped, I just want you to know that you will have to fly to Tijuana across the border and then come back. Now, there's a reason of this story for you. There are two ways of learning. We either learn from our own experience or we can learn from the experience of others. Now, when we learn from our experience, it costs us money. It literally costs us money. The second thing is, if you can learn from our mistake, then that's a freebie to you. It didn't cost you anything. So if you're dealing with this, I hope this video has been very, very valuable for you with the information of what you want to make sure that you do if in fact you're coming and your immigration, you have questions about that. I really hope that that's been of help. And I just like to say to you, if you haven't already, I'd like to encourage you to go ahead and subscribe to the channel. It's a great community, and we'd love to have you a part of it. If you really like the information, you can give us a thumbs up. That's a great thing. It's really, really important. You can hit the bell, which means that you're going to be able to be notified every time a new video comes out. And so you're not going to want to miss any of my upcoming videos. I've got some great videos coming out. And all I will say is, if you'd like to leave a comment, if it had anything to do with the immigration or your experience, I'd love to hear about it. In fact, if you've got something that's a subject or something like that that you'd like a video on that would be of real help to you, in the description below, go ahead and make a comment and let me know that, because we'll reach out to you. We can discuss things. We have an email address that you can actually email us, and we basically can go from there. And our email address is actually in this description. So I hope that's been helpful. And as always, have an awesome day. We will see you on the next video.